Today's devotional is Faith That Walks, Not Just Talks, and it explores how real faith is proven through action, just like love is demonstrated through kindness. Our reading is James chapter 2 and verses 14 to 26. Faith without good deeds is dead. What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith, but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say, "Goodbye, and have a good day. Stay warm and eat well." But then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do? So you see, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. Now, someone may say, some people have faith, others have good deeds. But I say, how can you show me your faith if you don't have good deeds? I will show you my faith by my good deeds. You say you have faith, for you believe that there is one God. Good for you. Even the demons believe this, and they tremble in terror. How foolish. Can't you see that faith without good deeds is useless? Don't you remember that our ancestor Abraham was shown to be right with God by his actions when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see, his faith and his actions worked together. His actions made his faith complete. And so it happened, just as the scriptures say. Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith. He was even called the friend of God. So you see, we are shown to be right with God by what we do, not by faith alone. Rahab the prostitute is another example. She was shown to be right with God by her actions when she hid those messengers and sent them safely away by another road. Just as the body is dead without breath, so also faith is dead without good works. The English philosopher Francis Bacon once wrote, "It is not what men eat, but what they digest that makes them strong. Not what we gain, but what we save that makes us rich. Not what we read, but what we remember that makes us learned. Not what we preach or pray, but what we practice and believe that makes us Christians." Imagine if a loved one was always telling you that they loved you, but never showed it. You didn't speak with each other. You spent no time together. They made no effort with you. Their words would feel pretty empty, wouldn't they? James challenges us in the same way about our faith. Faith isn't just something we talk about. It's something we live out every day. Our belief in Jesus should naturally flow into action. It should touch the lives of those around us. Real faith is like a tree that bears fruit. If an apple tree never produces apples, we would soon be asking if it was healthy. If our faith doesn't produce acts of kindness, of generosity, and of love, then it's time to search our souls. Are we spiritually healthy? Jesus didn't just preach love, he lived it out. He fed the hungry, he healed the sick, he welcomed the outcast, and he calls us to do the same. Today, look for ways to show your faith. Maybe it's buying a meal for someone in need. Perhaps you could call a friend who you know who's struggling. Maybe you could give to a charity that is living out God's mission. You can offer to help at work without being asked. You could check in on a neighbour who might be having problems and feeling lonely. You could serve at your church. No act of kindness is too small when done in love. Lord, I don't want my faith to be just words. I want it to be lived out in love. Open my eyes to the needs around me. Help me to see others the way you do, and to act with generosity and compassion. Let my faith be a living testimony of your love. Amen. And today's reflection question for you is, how can you take one practical step today to turn your faith into action? I hope to see you back here tomorrow for another Battle Drill Daily Devotional as we think about the more that we give, the more we thrive.